Hey, and welcome back to St. Michael's Lent. I'm Shane Smith here at the Franciscan University of Steubenville, Ohio, to talk about vices and virtues with some experts. Today I'm chatting with Katie Prejean McGrady. I did it.
You did it. You get it right.
I did your name. You are an author, a speaker, a podcaster, and a daily radio show host of the Katie McGrady Show on the Catholic channel on Sirius XM. Katie is also a Catholic commentator for major news networks, including CNN, and is a consultant for the USCCB Working Group on Youth and Young Adult Ministry. And I'm so happy to have you here.
It's great to be here.
Yeah. The shoe's on the other foot. You have interviewed me.
I know. This is nice.
And now I am interviewing you, though. You interviewed me. You wanted to talk about my conversion, a little bit about life. We're here to talk about vices and virtues.
Yes. I love that you guys gave me one, too, that I was like, wait, are they trying to tell me something?
Yeah.
Are they trying to clue me in on a problem?
We've assigned you to greed. How do you feel about that?
It's okay. My husband was like, oh, it makes sense.
Oh,
which led to some conversations in our marriage. Yeah. He's a host of Family Mass Prep, so people will know his voice with like little kids here on Hallow.
Yeah.
But funny Mr. Tommy was a little harsh in our conversations about greed.
That's so interesting. Can I give you a confession?
Please.
When I was reading through the 7 Deadly Sins, I read greed, and I was like, oh, I'm good on that one. Oh. And that's how I know I'm probably not good on that one. And immediately, I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Anytime that you're like, oh, I'm fine.
I don't have that one.
That one, I'm actually not struggling. Then I'm like, where is it getting me that I'm not paying attention?
Yeah, when you can't see it for yourself, that's probably when there's a major blind spot.
Yeah. Can I read you a quote by Fulton Sheen?
Oh, he's a good guy. He's on the wall.
Obviously going to blow our minds.
Staring down at us.
Yeah. So when a man loves wealth inordinately, he and it grow together like a tree pushing itself in growth through the crevices of a rock. Death to such a man is a painful wretch. He has everything to live for, nothing to die for. That gets me fired up. And that made me be like, oh, maybe I do have problems with greed.
Yeah.
Because I do feel very attached to the world, and I don't want to leave it.
The irony of all of the greed conversation and like wealth conversation is that my sister is a nun who's taken a literal vow of poverty. Mm-hmm. So like I have someone in my life who is not greedy and who in fact has to be detached from the world, which throws into stark relief, I think at times, how greedy I actually am. How like much I'm like, no, I want that thing, or I need that thing, or I justify the purchase of something.
Yes.
And sometimes even for her, like sometimes like, oh, the nun needs this. And then,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
I am very, very, very good friends with several religious, and I'm always like trying to get them things.
Yeah.
And they're like, why are you doing that? And I'm like, because you don't get yourself anything. And they're like, yeah.
That's the point.
I'm a nun.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, my bad. Sorry. I was trying to get you an iPod. I forgot or whatever.
Well, sometimes so my sister actually, when she first entered the Sisters of Life, I had this hard time understanding they're not allowed to have, they have blankets.
Okay.
But she couldn't bring like her own blanket. You know, like you go off to camp, like you want to bring your own, I don't know, creature comforts, or like you just like want to spruce up your room and give it like your own personal touches. And I had to pray about it for days. This idea that my sister was moving to the convent, she's marrying Jesus, and I can't send her off with her own fuzzy blanket. So I hacked it. I'm going to get one monogrammed. And then they can't just put it in the closet because it's going to have Laura across the front of it.
Right.
Forgetting that they changed their names. So like she's not going to want a blanket with Laura across the front of it.
They're like, who's Laura?
Had to take it to spiritual direction. Like this idea of why can I not reconcile that she's choosing to detach herself and I'm still very attached to wanting her to have this creature comfort. And the conclusion was, you haven't given up your creature comforts, and you therefore think because they make you comfortable, they'll make everybody else comfortable. But in reality, for her, what's making her comfortable is the fact that she doesn't really get to choose what her room looks like. If she's cold, she can go grab an extra blanket. Like, they're not going to make her freeze to death. But the fact that that's just not readily available, and therefore when those things are not readily available to you, you're actually then more reliant upon God, it became crystal clear, yeah, no, that's not me. Like, I still struggle with that and need to trust him a little more.
So what's the fix? Do you go Desert Father mode and start sleeping on the ground without a blanket?
No,
just
I
to
like
see what
my
happens?
Marriott hotels that have Netflix on the TV so I can just jump right back into what I was watching. I think it's this balance of, if I find myself accumulating, so like I have a problem with if I find like a pair of clothes or a pair of pants or like a type of shoes that I really like, I'll just purchase them in every color. On the offhand that like maybe they stopped making that kind of shoe. And like, what if I really like this shoe? Like I want it in every color because they're going to stop making it. So there's this fear component. So you have to overcome the fear of the thing that I love or this thing that I enjoy having isn't ever going to be available to me again. I think that's a trick of the devil. Like the thing that you have right now, you're going to need a bunch of those because they might not be there for you in the future, as opposed to just appreciating what you currently have and using it to its full. So you have to overcome that fear. I think the other thing is having people in your life who can call you out on that. Like, hey, that's excessive, or you don't need that. My mom had a rule when we were kids. You wanted something, you had to wait 3 days. If you had your own money to spend on it, you have to wait 3 days before you could go buy it. If they had to buy it for you, like if it was something larger, mom and dad would make you wait a week.
Wow.
Generally, we'd forget about it within 3 to 7 days. So there was, now I realize, a parenting hack. But it then also kind of like threw into relief the material things you want. You often want them in the moment because they're attractive, or they trick you into thinking, oh, you really, really need this. You really have to have this. And oftentimes you can get away without it.
It's so funny. And so then the answer to all vice becomes God. But in this particular instance, greed is the aberration of need. It's like, I think I need all these things, but what we do need is God. And that's it. And as soon as you rely on God, or you make sure to order your love, that God comes before these other things, and you don't need things, only then can you truly enjoy things.
Greedy people, and in the moments when I felt that gimme attitude or that greed or like I have to have, are unable to step back from, I would say, the grind of life. Leo called it the fatigue of life the other day, and actually recognize, oh, this is where God is guiding or where God is leading. We took our kids to the Pittsburgh Zoo this week on this trip. And our rule at zoos is $15 limit for each of you at the gift shop, which is actually really hard to do at a zoo gift shop these days.
I thought you were going to say no jumping into the gorilla exhibit.
That too.
Okay.
Thank goodness there's glass these days. But yeah, that is also a rule. Don't go become one with the animals. We got really up close with an elephant the other day, and the smell, I think, convinced my children to back up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But so we walk into the gift shop, and our kids know that like the second there's whining, or the second there's like, oh, I really want that instead of this thing, like we'll just walk out. You don't have to get something. And it's not mom and dad being mean or miserly. It's like, look, we're not going to whine because you're already getting this opportunity to pick something. And my youngest, Claire, who broke the mold, and our joke is there's no third McGrady because of the second McGrady. She's a lot, and we love her for it. She gets fixated on this kangaroo doll. That was $27.99, so definitely out of the budget.
Yeah.
And it's not like we can't afford $27.99, but we don't need a $30 stuffy. Like, we just don't.
Yeah.
So this stuffy is up there, like, looming over us, and it's set up pretty high, so she can't even reach it. And the only reason she wants it is because it's the mama kangaroo and a baby kangaroo, and Claire loves little things. So all she wants is the baby. She doesn't even want the whole thing. She just wants the baby. And her sister sees what's happening, that like Claire's so fixated on that thing that she can't have because she knows it's out of the budget, that she can't see the rest of the store available to her at her budget. So Claire is kind of pouting, but trying not to whine because she knows the rule. And Rose is like, Claire, look at this. Claire, look at that. Like trying to show her the rest of the store. And Claire just won't have it, to the point where Claire says, I don't want anything. If she can't have the thing that she actually wants, she doesn't want anything. So I think oh, great, I just saved $15. And Tommy's like, this isn't the lesson we can teach our child. That like, oh, you can't have the thing you want, so you're just not going to get anything. Like, we need to have a conversation with her about, you think you're making a sacrifice, but actually you're pouting to just try to get your own way. So it's like all of these layers of, it's 100 degrees outside. I'm ready to leave the Pittsburgh Zoo. I don't want to have this deep philosophical conversation with my 4-year-old. Just like, suck it up. It's time to go. And then Rose, ever the eldest sister, figures out, okay, 15 plus 15 is 30. So if we get that toy together, maybe we can cut off the baby kangaroo and give it to Claire, and I can keep the big part, and we can now split the toy. And I look over at Tommy, and he's like, well, that wasn't part of the conversation or the plan. But yeah, that does work. And so Rose was now very proud that she'd like figured out how we can share. And I'm still concerned that Claire's like really attached to this toy and is like kind of being greedy for it. At the end, we bought the kangaroo. And I was actually so impressed with the way Rose decided like she wanted to share and then take her budget money and like share it with her sister, that I also then let her get this like grabby toy for the car. so that when I'm in the front part of the minivan and she's in the back, I can hand her things. But it really did lead to this bigger conversation at the family dinner table just last night of this fixation on, like, Claire wanted this one little toy. Guess what she hasn't really paid much attention to since she got it?
That little
toy. Because she already has a little stuffy that she's very attached to. And she just saw it and wanted it and became so attached and distracted to it, or attached to it and distracted by it, that she couldn't say anything else. And she's 4. And the world is already doing that to her. Or like the things of the world that constantly say, take me, want me, have me. And I'm so grateful that Hal is like giving us a chance to talk through how we navigate that, because it happens to us in such subtle ways.
As adults, it's so insidious.
Yes.
You have no idea that you're looking at this thing that's distracting you from everything else, or that you feel like there are needs or wants that you don't. They're not real.
They're not supposed to have it. The internet convinces us. The reels of people's lives that give us this, oh, well, they get to do this, or they have that, or they've got this thing over there, the advertisements that are constantly shoved in our face. And so maybe we just have to turn it all off. But I also think you have to invite the Lord. This is going to sound weird, but like there's this joke among millennial moms. Oh, Target's going to tell me what I need. Like I walk into the store and the store is going to tell me what I need to purchase. Home Goods is going to offer itself to me, and I'll walk out having spent $105 and I'll forget the second I get to the car what is actually in those bags that I'm decorating my house with.
Yeah.
It's almost like you have to walk into those stores and be like, Lord, help me stay on budget. Or Lord, keep me focused on the thing that I actually showed up to get, trash bags. I need to walk out of Target with trash bags and not everything else. Mm-hmm. And that sounds cheesy, but if we believe that the Lord can be with us in every moment of our life, that we should be praying unceasingly, that's actually the perfect place to ask the Lord to guide us.
Right. It is funny to like, you think, oh, should I include the Lord in shopping?
Yes.
Well, you should pray unceasingly. So you should include the Lord in literally any activity you're involved in. And then that will order yourself towards truth, which then orders yourself towards the trash bags, which then saves you money, which then makes your family more stable, which then makes you less stressed, which then makes you happier overall.
It all connects.
Yeah, it all connects. It's very funny. And alternatively, if you want to make your wife incredibly mad, tell her you want to go to Target, then do the order online, pull up, have them bring it to the car. She'll lose her mind.
But the hack is you order the stuff you actually need on the app, and then you just walk around. So you've got the stuff you need, and you pick it up on the way out, but then you still get to wander.
But nope.
And you shouldn't do that because it's greedy. Yeah.
is bad. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah,
It's been so good to have you. This is great, Katie. This was fun.
Thank you for having me.
Do you have anything you want to say before we're out of here?
No, listen to Family Mass Prep on Hallow.
Listen to Family
That's our
Mass
thing.
Prep on
We love
Hallow.
having people come hang out with us over there and get yourselves ready for Mass on Sundays.
Well, Katie Prejean McGrady, which is a great name.
It's a good name.
Thank you so much for having this conversation with me. Thank you for coming out. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
And,
Thank you.
Yeah,
Amen.
that's it. Amen.